Hi, I'm Mariah Min. My focus is primarily on late medieval literature, so something that I enjoy thinking about in my project is how medieval literary characters are something that's really worth looking at. So I'm particularly fascinated by how when we think medieval literary characters are not shaped in the way that we want characters to be shaped, like are they coherent? Do they have a narrative arc? Are they recognizable? Do they make sense? Even when they don't meet any of those criteria, that they are still doing something that's very literarily interesting. So I'm thinking about how even those characters are acting sometimes in service of the narrative as their long ideological arms, or maybe they are the conscience of the narrative, phrasing things that they can't verbalize themselves, or maybe it's somewhere where a certain kind of undercurrent is unable to be subsumed and the character is a kind of residue. I think this has really been maybe the 2 years of my life where I've learned the most, including the first 2 years of my life when I learned to walk and talk. I mean, I've had the good fortune to be able to teach whatever I want, essentially, and to have students come into these classes with a deep curiosity about these potentially wildly esoteric things that I'm interested in pondering, and for them to be really game to wrestle with these questions has been wonderful to see. So teaching has been really like a great feedback mechanism for me. It's given me a lot of energy, and I hope that the students have enjoyed these courses as well. Interacting with the undergraduate community through classes, through individual mentorship roles, and through the Cogut has really showed me the variety of the ways in which Brown students are always thinking about how what they're studying matters for the world. And then for undergraduate fellows at the Cogut, those interests were particularly not always exclusively, but academically oriented in the sense that they could see a path where their research projects could balloon into bigger research projects that they could then pursue in other guises in grad school or elsewhere. But even for fellows or even for students who were not necessarily pursuing graduate school or bigger projects, I was really able to see how each of them had such a specific vision for the kind of person that Brown has helped them become, and how they could then take those qualities and bring that into the world at large. So, students that are going on to become, teachers at community colleges, going to law school, going into publishing, all of these different things, and even students who are still thinking about what they want to do. I think there's such a kind of intensely authentic and honest sense of things that they're passionate about that Brown's allowed them to pursue, that I think sometimes at other schools you're too hairy to be able to think through things like that. So it's been interesting and very generative for me as well to mentor students and have conversations with students where each person needs a different conversation, is looking for something different from me that I can be helpful with as they pursue their own futures. So I'm very lucky to be able to start as assistant professor of English at Brown this fall. Thanks to participating in the Cogut seminar, I have a much better sense of my book project, which is exciting. You don't really get that kind of boost at anywhere else. So that's been really great for me. So I think that communicating with Brown students, with other faculty members, with postdocs here, having such a wide-ranging community to be in conversation with, that's helped me a lot in visualizing what it is that I can do in my future role. How can I contribute? How should I best transform myself into this new future version of me? So I'm very grateful for all these opportunities that I've been so fortunate to be taking advantage of.